Greetings to all of you. In this video, I want to do a deeper dive into the profound energies that we're experiencing in this month, December 2025. In particular, I think it is extremely significant that 3I-Atlas will be making its pass by the Earth on December 19th, the day of the new moon, and a few days before the solstice. Also, I want to go into more depth about the dance that Mars and Venus are in right now, in their sacred marriage and in their transformational time as they have been activated by 3I-Atlas and are now under the beams of the sun in that alchemical marriage with the light of the sun. So this is guiding us, I believe, in how we are meant to be rapidly shifting in our consciousness and opening to these new energies, these new codes of consciousness that are being seeded by 3I-Atlas to be in this evolutionary leap as humanity. I think many of us are feeling these energies that are accelerating and guiding us into higher consciousness. And I also am very excited about the ways in which the energies of the Aquarian paradigms are expanding and are more fully taking hold. This month, as we're dealing with this dance of Mars and Venus and their cycle together, I think it's highly significant that Kelly Kolodny and Emilio Ortiz have combined their communities to be working with the energies of Christ consciousness and the divine feminine light code, the energies of Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene, to support us in understanding this integration of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine that is so critical as we're moving through this time of transformation and coming back into more balance and wholeness with each other. I encourage you to check out their program, and I'll put the link below. And I will be involved in their December 12th event, 12/12, and Pam Gregory will also be a part of that program on the time of the solstice, December 21st. Part of what I think this is conveying is we are more and more joining our energies together as communities, as collaborators, all of us. I so appreciate this community and how we are supporting each other, encouraging each other, moving together into higher consciousness. And I think this energy of the Aquarian collaboration, connectedness, community, co-creating a new world together is growing and spreading. And let's keep energizing that together in our process. Let me now explain more in depth what's going on with this dance with Venus and Mars, the transformation that they're in, how the synchronicity of this and their activation by 3I-Atlas is guiding us in this transition time, in how to more fully reintegrate the energies of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. Let me give a little bit of background first for why this is so important. Then I want to talk about where Venus and Mars are in their individual cycles, where they are in their process together, and why that is so significant for us in this time. As I've talked about in previous videos, we have exited the Kali Yuga as of March 2025. The Kali Yuga is the time in the Hindu Yuga cycle, in the 24,000-year processional cycle, when we get caught in our lowest level of consciousness. This has been across the last 5,000 to 6,000 years. This is the only time in the 24,000-year processional cycle that we get caught in a patriarchal power over paradigm. It's important to take that in and to realize that this context that we're in now, with this patriarchal paradigm, with the energies of competition, power over, conflict, war, destruction, trauma, abuse. This is the aberration, not the norm. In our immersion in these paradigms, in our recent history, we think this is how the evolution of humanity has been. And we need to realize it is the aberration that we can trace back now, and we're getting more and more disclosure about the ancient cultures, and particularly cultures we can trace back 12,000 years ago and longer, that were at a very advanced level where they lived in harmony, in balance, in higher consciousness. And this doesn't mean we were in matriarchal cultures. We don't just flip from the power over of the patriarchal paradigm to the power over of the matriarchal paradigm in the past. Those cultures were matrilineal. They honored the lineage of mothers and the birthing of children through the mother's line, but they lived with an understanding of the importance of the integration and harmonization of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. Remember that we, as Keone Hanley would say, are 100% feminine and 100% masculine. We all have those energies within us. And when we can live in right harmony and right balance within ourselves, then we are able to be in that right harmony and balance of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine in our communities and in our cultures and in our interactions with each other. It is that remembrance then of unity consciousness, that we are in our diversity, but we are interconnected and part of the whole. We are part of the oneness of all that is. We started into the Kali Yuga, this time of forgetting, this time of our lowest level of consciousness, as we moved into the age of Taurus, which was approximately 4000 BCE. But in particular, we started into the movement into the patriarchal period around 3000 BCE, and it really took hold as we moved into the age of Aries, ruled by Mars, starting around 2000 BCE. And that age went to 0 of our current era. The age of Taurus, ruled by Venus, very much continued to honor those energies of the sacred feminine until about 3000 BCE, when there was a lot of climate crisis, a lot of earth catastrophes that triggered trauma, triggered fear. We ended up having some nomadic warriors invading from the steppes of Siberia, coming into the Mediterranean area, beginning. This is chronicled in archaeologist Maria Gimbutas's work, where we began to see this shift, this destruction of the goddess honoring cultures, and this increasing energy of nomadic warriors moving us into this patriarchal period, where we began to move from peaceful cultures where there was no war to increasing conflict, war, devastation of villages, in the increasing movement into the patriarchal period, where now war, conflict, competition, power over, struggle, destruction are a part of the paradigms of our cultures and our world. And unfortunately, then, in the age of Aries, this imbalanced expression of Mars really took hold. As we moved into the age of Pisces around 0 of the current era, I believe that the teachings of Buddha, other spiritual teachers, the meaning of Christ consciousness and Christ's teachings in conjunction with Mary, who was his primary disciple. And I encourage you to read the Gnostic Gospels, read the Gospel of Mary. They were trying to help heal that out of balance dynamic that had gotten us into the patriarchal paradigms. They were trying to bring back that balance of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. And sadly, those teachings became distorted and institutionalized and adopted to be in service of the power over paradigms instead of helping us to heal that trauma, heal that rift, to come back into balance and come back into harmony. I think it is significant as we've now exited the Kali Yuga. We're now coming out of the age of Pisces, moving into the age of Aquarius. I think we are being called to heal this trauma of the patriarchal period. We are being called to heal the imbalanced expressions of Mars and Venus, to remember how to come back into harmony and balance and wholeness. It's only as we can heal and release these out of balance paradigms that we can move into this higher consciousness, that we can move through this evolutionary leap into being the new humans and co-creating a new world together. So it's profound from my perspective that as we're in this transition time, 3I-Atlas emerges in our solar system, this interstellar galactic being that is billions of years old, and I think is a messenger, is seeding higher consciousness, is activating changes in our solar system to guide us in how we can move through this time of healing and transformation and transmutation. I encourage you to listen to Kelly Kolodny's channeling of 3I-Atlas, and I'll put that link below. I encourage you to listen to Susie Miller's accessing of the messages of 3I-Atlas and what that means for us. And I will put her link below, and she's doing another profound talk on this on 12/12. So I encourage you to sign up for that and get that link. This is a powerful time when we are being guided through these synchronistic experiences and activations to be in this process of healing and transformation. And let me try to outline or tell the story of how this is evolving in the cycles of Venus and Mars, their journey together, how they are in their own alchemical transformational process, and how this is supporting us in how we are healing those energies within ourselves to come back into harmony, to come back into wholeness, to remember who we truly are and what we're capable of being as we reintegrate these energies within ourselves and co-create a new world together. So let's review what's happened with 3I-Atlas up to this point and what is unfolding this month. 3I-Atlas, this intergalactic being, emerged into our awareness July of 2025 in the stars of Ophiuchus. Remember that Ophiuchus is this constellation of the serpent bearer. It is symbolic of the great healer who integrates the energies of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. Then 3I-Atlas, in its movement, went through the stars of Libra into Virgo. It will continue into Leo before it moves out of our solar system. And it's making passes by certain planets. First, it made a pass by Mars on October 3rd, a few days before the full moon on October 6th. Then it made its perihelion with the sun on October 29th, activating and seeding energies into the sun. And I believe that these solar flares and energies coming to us from the sun are carrying these codes, these activations of higher consciousness to us to support us in our transformation. Then November 3rd, a few days before the full moon on November 5th, 3I-Atlas made its closest pass by Venus. Think of the synchronicities of this and the timing of these ways in which it's activating Mars and Venus so close to a full moon. Then it will make its pass by the Earth on December 19th, on the day of the new moon, and 2 days before the December solstice. And then on March 16th, it will make its final pass by a planet going by Jupiter a few days before the full moon on March 18th or 19th, depending on where you are on the globe, and a few days before the March equinox. It's extraordinary to me that the timing of 3I-Atlas in its passes by these planets are all coordinated with the timing of either a full moon or a new moon, and also these important times that are a part of our dance with the sun and the moon and the light and the dark across the year. So it made its pass by Mars a few weeks after the September equinox. It makes its pass by Venus at the time of Samhain, that cross-quarter holiday, the midpoint between the equinox and the solstice. It's making its pass by Earth a few days before the December solstice, winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere, summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. And then it makes its pass by Jupiter a few days before the March equinox. And it's holding this year period of we exit the Kali Yuga March at the time of the equinox 2025. We have the final pass of 3I-Atlas by Jupiter March, close to the equinox of 2026. This is such a powerful year, starting at the equinox, the time that is about balance, balance of light and dark, carrying us through this year to then 3I-Atlas will make its final activation and exit from our solar system. And how significant is it that in its movement through the stars, through the constellations, 3I-Atlas is moving through Ophiuchus, Libra, Virgo. These three constellations are the constellations associated with the ages of our highest level of consciousness in the Hindu Yuga cycle and the precessional cycle. They carry the energies of the golden age. And then 3I-Atlas moves into Leo before it exits the solar system. That is the age of Leo, when we started into our descending cycle of consciousness. So it's as if 3I-Atlas has come in to our solar system. Activating Ophiuchus. Remember how to come back into wholeness. Remember the integration of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. Remember the ancient wisdom of the golden age, which was the age of Scorpio, age of Ophiuchus, age of Libra, age of Virgo. And then it activates Leo saying, and this is the journey you started in your descending consciousness, but now it's time to heal. It is time to remember who you truly are, come back into connection with that ancient wisdom, to heal, to come into wholeness, to transform, to move into higher consciousness. And the planets that 3I-Atlas is activating, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, the Earth, the planetary rulers of the ages where we got caught in lower levels of consciousness, the Kali Yuga, age of Taurus, ruled by Venus, age of Aries, ruled by Mars, age of Pisces, traditional ruler, Jupiter, and 3I-Atlas saying, heal the out of balance Mars, heal the out of balance Venus, heal what you didn't take in from the balanced age of Pisces to be in this critical transformation time, to come into wholeness, to awaken, to transform, to move into the Aquarian age and make this evolutionary leap as humanity. It is extraordinary how we are being guided by these synchronicities, by the love and wisdom of the cosmos saying, this is how you can move through this time to heal, to come back into balance, to remember the meaning of unity consciousness and coming back in to oneness with all that is. And remember, the energy of the age of Aquarius is not about losing our individual self-expression. I believe the meaning of the age of Aquarius is the sovereignty of the self in the sanctity of community, in unity with cosmic consciousness. That we remember our unique fractal expression of cosmic consciousness. This is the deeper, balanced meaning of Mars energy and the third chakra. We remember the sanctity of community, the sacredness of being in right relationship with each other, with all that is, Venus, the heart chakra. And we come back into unity with cosmic consciousness. Jupiter, the age of Pisces, the modern ruler is Neptune, reminding us of divine love, divine wisdom that holds us in unity consciousness, in that interconnectedness of all that is, in oneness. Now let's return to the activation and healing and transformation of Mars and Venus that are helping us to integrate these shifts and heal and transform. So, 3I-Atlas activates Mars on October 3rd. Then 3I-Atlas activated Venus on November 3rd. On approximately November 10th, Venus then disappeared from view from its being a morning star into its superior conjunction with the sun and merged with the energy of the sun. About 10 days later, about November 20th, Mars, which had been visible in the evening sky, disappeared from view into the beams of the sun. And the two of them then were immersed in that alchemical energy of the sun that had been activated by 3I-Atlas to be in their own time of healing and transformation. What's extraordinary is that Mars and Venus, in their cycle together, have a synoded cycle of about 6.5 years or 77 months. So for them to come into this conjunction with each other, with the sun, only happens every 6.5 years. It happened at this time just after they're each activated by 3I-Atlas. It means not only are they ending a 6.5 year cycle with each other to begin a new Mars-Venus cycle in relationship with each other, but it is also the ending of a Mars cycle as Mars starts its cycle in conjunction with the sun, moves through its 26-month journey of moving into an opposition with the sun, and then it comes back into conjunction with the sun again to go through its death rebirth to start a new cycle, and it will emerge in the eastern sky before sunrise when Mars emerges from under the beams of the sun. Venus, I believe, and this is a much longer discussion that relates to my deep dive into the myth of Inanna and how it relates to the Venus cycle and the meaning of the entire Venus cycle, where it's an evening star, then it disappears from view in its inferior conjunction, which I see as its time of death, rebirth, transformation, to emerge as a morning star, to then be in its superior conjunction, which is where it is now, a much longer period of disappearance, which is its time of integration and reflection, to begin again as an evening star when it emerges into view. So this time that Venus and Mars are in now, since they both disappeared from view in the sky in November, is the ending of their journeys individually and the ending of their cycle and journey together to prepare for a new cycle. They will both be in this conjunction with the sun, under the beams of the sun, for about 4 months. They will go into exact conjunction with each other, which is the birth of their new synoded cycle together, on January 7th, 2026, at 18 degrees of Capricorn. The Sabian symbol for that degree is about this being a time of accelerated growth. It is a dynamic time in the evolution of humanity. They will be in their sacred marriage with each other, in their merger with the energies of the sun, from their disappearance in November until they both reemerge in March. Venus will emerge around March 5th, 2026, and it will emerge in the evening sky. Mars will emerge about a week later, around March 11th, and it will emerge in the morning sky. And they will then begin a new dance together and a new cycle together. But think about the visual imagery of this. Venus has been a morning star. Mars has been in the evening sky. They both disappear from view. They end their cycle together. They merge in their superior conjunction with the sun. They are bathing in this alchemical energy to guide them into the true gold of who they are, to burn away the out of balanced expressions of their energies. Those archetypes are in those planets and in us. And we are being guided to burn away the out of balanced patterns and paradigms of Mars and Venus, the sacred masculine and sacred feminine within us. For them to then emerge in March in a new form, in a new way, with new energies, activating those new archetypes within us to guide us in our healing and reintegration of the sacred masculine and sacred feminine in a new way, in a balanced way, in a healed and whole way. And that will occur just before 3I-Atlas then activates Jupiter, and as Keone Hanalei would say, marking the completion of this evolutionary cycle for us as humanity to activate this movement into higher consciousness, into a new age, into our new ways of being, to co-create a new world together. And it's extraordinary, and let me show you this. When Venus emerges from view around March 5th, it will be in the sign of Pisces and in the stars of Pisces and in conjunction with Saturn and Neptune, meaning this is a new beginning, new forms, new ways of being, new spiritual expressions of Venus. When Mars emerges around March 11th, now emerging before the sun in the morning sky, it will also be in the sign of Pisces in our tropical zodiac charts, but in the sky, it will be in the stars of Aquarius, guiding us to realize Mars, now transformed, holding new energies, new ways of being, having been through its healing and alchemical and transmutational process, is now saying we can act, Mars. We can express our individual self-expression, Mars, through Aquarian energy, Aquarian paradigms. It's no longer about conflict, competition. It's about collaboration, cooperation, community. And then within a brief period of time, Mars will also be moving into conjunction with Neptune and Saturn in the chart, in the sign of Aries, but here still in the stars of Pisces, guiding us into these new expressions of Venus and Mars, of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. And remember that Neptune and Saturn, when they go into their exact conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries in the chart, the meaning of that in the Sabian symbols is a woman rises out of the sea and a seal rises up and embraces her. Not only is this Neptune-Saturn conjunction that will go exact February 20th, 2026, about our integrating spirituality into new forms, new ways of being, but it is about the return of the energies of the sacred feminine to bring us back into right relationship, right harmony with each other and with the earth and all that is. As Venus and Mars are in their merger together and their merger behind the sun, it's extraordinary that when 3I-Atlas makes its pass by the Earth, December 19th, and on the new moon, and then we have the solstice on the 21st. This is where they will be at the time of 3I-Atlas's pass by the Earth on December 19th. You can see the sun, moon, Venus, Mars, all conjunct together in alignment with the galactic center, the sacred womb of our galaxy, birthing them in a new way, and under the care of Ophiuchus, the great healer, guiding them and us into healing and wholeness. And Mercury here is in its transformational process close to the royal star Antares, but all of this energy guiding us into new ways of thinking, new ways of acting, new ways of being, and being in that healing integration of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. Then 2 days later, at the solstice, here the Sun, Mars, Venus still in conjunction, in alignment with the galactic center. So they're in their sacred marriage, bathing in the alchemical energies of the Sun. Then they align with the Sun and Moon at the time of the new moon, December 19th, when the Earth is activated by 3I-Atlas, helping us with these energies coming from the galactic center through the Sun to be taking in these new codes, these new ways of being in the energies of Mars and Venus, these new paradigms of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, guided into a new beginning, a new healed, whole way of being. We are birthing something new as we come to this solstice and through these activations. And as we can work it consciously, as we can be honoring these energies, absorbing them, and embodying them, then we can move into this transformation and help co-create the new world together. So this is the journey. This is what is unfolding in the sky. This is what is unfolding within us. Remember, we live in a holographic universe where everything is interconnected. Everything is a part of this sea of cosmic consciousness. And these planets are being transformed by these activations, but those energies, those paradigms, those archetypes of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine within us are being transformed and healed, guiding us into remembering how to bring them back into harmony and balance, guiding us into awakening, to be in this time of transformation, to be able to move into these new ways of being, into the Aquarian paradigms, but into a higher consciousness that is allowing us to reclaim what it means to be multidimensional beings, living in harmony, living in this higher dimensional awareness of our interconnectedness with all that is, to be a part of this galactic evolutionary leap. So as we're moving through this powerful month, I encourage you to connect with the Sun as we're experiencing that sacred marriage and that merger of Mars and Venus and their transformation with the Sun. Allow yourself to absorb those energies and take in those activations and that healing transformation for yourself. Again, I encourage you to do a practice that I find really helpful to do daily now, which is not only to honor the Sun as close to sunrise as possible. And my mantra is, I honor the Sun, and through the Sun align with Source, divine love and light and wisdom. That as we honor the Sun, we're honoring the energies of the galactic center and taking in those energies. And then in my own daily practice with the medicine wheel, I come to the center of the medicine wheel and I connect down to the crystal core of the earth, up to the galactic center. Let those energies activate and run through my central channel so that I am aligning with the energies of the earth and the sky. I am connecting with the heartbeat of Mother Earth and her higher consciousness. I am connecting to the sacred womb of our galaxy and those energies and activations coming to us. And then I allow them to meet and activate my heart and emanate out so that I am in alignment with my heart, with my soul self, in alignment with the earth and sky and cosmic consciousness to be bringing these energies into right harmony, into balance, to be in my own transformational process, to then be able to emanate out that love and healing energy into the collective consciousness. As we do this together, we support the healing and transformation of the world. We support this evolutionary leap that we're capable of. We collaborate together to be in this journey of remembering, awakening, healing, and transformation, to co-create a new world together. May we be in these currents of energy that are guiding us through this transformational alchemical process, and honor and celebrate this transformation that we are all capable of, individually and collectively. Blessings and love to all of you. Blessed be.